Have you ever experienced periods in your life where you've got a lot on your plate, and even if it's filled with things that you love, everything is moving so fast and there's just so much of it that it feels like all of the joy in life just got sucked out from these activities? Well, when we feel this day after day, we risk burnout. Do you feel you're about to burn out? Or are you already there? Today, we will think through, feel through, and breathe through how to start preventing or addressing burnout. Welcome to Hearten, a podcast that helps you prepare to take heart. I'm Hel, and thanks for spending this time together. If you're looking to journey into a safer and freer life through mindfulness, I invite you to follow or subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Before we begin, a quick note. While I am here to walk alongside and share empathy, food for thought, and observations, this podcast is not a substitute for professional medical or psychiatric advice, diagnosis, direction, or treatment. There is no shame in seeking professional advice for difficult times, a mental health checkup, or anything weighing on your heart. We all want to feel well inside. Now, let's breathe and hearten by finding a comfortable position followed by 3 deep breaths. Breathe in for 3. 1, 2, 3, and exhale through your mouth. Again. 2, 3, and out for 4. Last time. And blow everything out. Yay. As you continue breathing slowly, I want you to imagine your brain, your mind, like a table. What's on this table right now? Whatever you see on this table, don't push it off yet. It's important to see what is there. After all, throwing issues under the rug or silencing fantastic ideas won't actually help us feel any better. As you look at each thing on the table, as you identify what's occupying that space that is your mind, take a deep breath in and out. Feel free to pause our session to identify each thing on your mind and press play again when you're ready. Knowing all that is now on your table, or at least most of the things that are on your table, what are you feeling? What emotions come up? Is it frustration? Perhaps exhaustion? Maybe it's a feeling of helplessness. Breathe in and out. Let's do it one more time. In and out. Life is overwhelming sometimes. Even when there's maybe seemingly not much on your to-do list, I'd say it's almost impossible to do them all and feel okay without what I like to call little doses of sweetness. Yes, doses of sweetness. Doses of sweetness often looks like little breaks in between that we give ourselves. Time away from the screen or paper or whatever you're working on. Maybe it's walking around, taking a sip of water, a soothing drink, or maybe even letting out a little steam with some exercise. I actually used to think those things were not necessary. I thought I could just plow through it and it'd all be okay. I used to think that breaks were simply a waste of time. Why not just sit there and do everything all in one go, all in one breath? Albeit true that there are some things that are best done in one sitting, most things don't actually get completed well that way. For example, if you are starting to feel conflict in an interaction with somebody, forcing the conversation into a resolution might create escalated, unstable feelings versus if everyone just took 10 minutes to themselves to cool down separately and to step out of their own boxes to get a new perspective. Or even when we're doing a list of chores or doing something creative, sometimes it does help for us to take a break, to give ourselves that little dose of sweetness or treat to ensure we can keep going. Otherwise, we will eventually be running on empty. And when we run on empty, our minds don't stop desiring doses of sweetness. In fact, and you might have experienced this too, it then craves for bigger hits of sweetness. Why? Because we're stressed. When we're stressed, the stress hormone in our body, cortisol, shoots up. It puts our body into a survival mode where it thinks we need more than what we actually need to make us joyful and happy again. Let's use a cookie as a tangible example. So, where maybe a quick break to eat one cookie an hour and a half after your lunch break can give you a nice refresher, a quick boost, emotionally and physically. If you actually didn't take a break all day and you kept repeating the habit, you might actually find that later on, when your mind is screaming, "We need a break," that you'll actually end up eating a whole box of cookies instead of just one cookie. Our minds and bodies require doses of sweetness spread out to be motivated. Perhaps you've heard of it in its biochemical term, dopamine. Too much of a dopamine hit, and we develop an unhealthy attachment to those hits. But too little, or not at all, and it can feel very much like death. It's important to moderate our dopamine intake, our doses of sweetness, in a way that is sustainable, that serves us for the long run, so that we can achieve those hopes and dreams we've set out to pursue. It's important to remember life is not a race, so we cannot feed ourselves like we are training for a sprint. When we give ourselves little doses of sweetness scattered throughout the day and week, which often looks like doing something of any size that we love for a focused period of time, our minds and bodies will feel more refreshed, more ready to take on whatever is on that table. And slowly but surely, the overwhelm will fade as we work on what is directly in front of us. So, let's take this next little moment to think about the following. Other than listening to this episode to slow down your life so that you can take a breather, what else can you give yourself that will give you that little boost of joy and energy to keep going throughout the day, throughout the week? Breathe in again. Notice what is around and within you. Inhale one more time. And as we breathe out, remember, little doses of joy can keep our fuel tanks from running out. If you found this episode helpful, like and save it to your playlist. I hope you're a little more heartened. Until next time, be here for you. You deserve to be here, safe, healthy, and loved.